Good afternoon, live from the Circus Sports at the Mint Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Ross Johnston. The Titans rookie minicamp has begun this morning and will conclude tomorrow. However, the 2026 draft class will not be on the field as Coach Saleh is reserving the on-field portion for UDFA signings and camp invites only. In NFL news, the Packers have invited former Steelers and Bears receiver Chase Claypool to rookie minicamp for a tryout. Claypool has not played since 2023 and was a second-round pick by the Steelers in the 2020 draft. Also, Andrew Marchand reports that NFL quarterback Russell Wilson is considering joining CBS Sports NFL coverage to replace Matt Ryan this upcoming season. Wilson took a visit to the Jets earlier this week, but is strongly considering doing television. Lastly, Vol basketball is gaining steam on Wake Forest transfer Juke Harris as On3's Pete Nakos logged an expert prediction for Tennessee to land Harris. For all your foundation repair and your waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors. 615-737-1045 is the number. Robert Saleh's babying his players. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Just kidding. He's not babying them. He's doing the right thing. Don't get your all's panties in a wad. All right, hey, guess what? Tonight, join 104.5 The Zone for a live taping of The Install with Greg Cosell, Buck Rising, special guests Stoney Keeley and Zach Lyons of Football and Other F Words, and, of course, the very special guest, Tennessee Titans General Manager Mike Berganzi at the Analog at Hutton Hotel tonight. No NFL market has an event like this, so be there as Cosell and Berganzi break down the Tennessee Titans 2026 draft and free agency and find out why the Titans selected Carnell Tate and Keldrick Falk directly from their general manager. The Install Live is sponsored by Hattie B's Hot Chicken and Milagro Tequila. Tickets are on sale now for $50. Very, very few tickets, if any, are left. Visit 1045thezone.com/events, and there is a Carnell Tate giveaway, I think, still going on, signed jersey, who's wearing number 14. And that had people questioning whether that's a good-looking number, and that's just something I could not give a crap about. But guess what? You can win that jersey if you take a screenshot, send it to Bucks DMs or A to Z Sports DMs. I feel I don't know which is which, but just take a screenshot. Remove your credit card and billing information, by the way. Don't want to put that out there in the internets. And make sure you guys enter for your chance to win a signed jersey of Carnell Tate. And don't forget, join 104.5 The Zone for a 2026 Golf Classic presented by Ferguson on Monday, June 15th at Nashville Golf and Athletic Club. Located in the heart of Cool Springs, the historic golf course features breathtaking panoramic views of the Middle Tennessee countryside. The 2026 Golf Classic will be highlighted with great food, cocktails, prizes, and special guests. Purchase your team today and choose between two flights, 8 a.m. or 1 p.m., and spend the day teeing off with us. For more information or to purchase a team, visit 1045thezone.com. We got shorter than average breaks today, so I didn't know if I would have to read every undrafted tryout player that was coming in today. There's like 70 of them, so I didn't know if I was going to have to read those to Vamp or something. I think there's actually just, oh, wow, I actually was pretty close. There's 58, is that right? 58 tryout players this weekend. Holy crap, feels like a lot more than normal. Rookie minicamp this week. We've heard from Robert Saleh with a lot to get into from there. We'll be joined by Jordan DeJaney at 2 o'clock today because at 1:15 we'll hear from select players at the press conference over at, I'm about to call it St. Thomas Sports Park, but it is Vanderbilt Sports Park?
Vanderbilt Football Health Center.
Vanderbilt Football Health Center. Got to write that down somewhere because that's going to be a bad habit to break right there. Blaine, rookie minicamp. Is there anything you can really take away from rookie minicamp if you're on the outside looking in from these players other than who possibly makes it to the next leg? Like, is there any real takeaways from a rookie minicamp? For not for players. I mean, obviously it's big for players, but for like outside looking in.
Yeah, I think that's really hard.
Yeah.
I think from the coach's perspective, I think you get to see who picks up information, retains information, who's in better shape now. Doesn't mean who'll be the same coming, moving forward. Now you know what to expect. So some guys kind of start off slower than others. I love the idea that they're not actually practicing. I used to say that all the time. They travel and they're not training to practice football. So I probably would have them out there jogging around, at least because some guys learn differently. So I would have them maybe, doing like not 7-on-7, but lining up, kind of jogging through different, educational things that you've given them as far as offense and defense to see if they can retain some of the information, because some guys have to do it. Some guys are chalkboard guys.
Yeah.
And some guys are walkthrough guys, So, guys learn at different rates, and then you want to see where they're at. So they're giving them tests. I'm sure they're going to do some type of, I think he said some assessments from the strength and training program.
Yeah.
And you kind of go from there. So I really love that. But I'd be having them in there, sitting there on a chalkboard, though. I know that.
You're not only exercising your body and getting your body conditioned for the NFL, but you're also conditioning your mind.
Yeah. And so you want to see how sharp some of these guys are.
Yeah.
How quick they can retain. I was the type I had to go back and, look at things on my own and kind of take it all in and then move, because they kind of did it differently back then. They kind of gave you everything, and then I'm like, man, that's not the way you want to learn.
Trying to drink from a fire hose.
Yeah, man. I'm like, man, this whole thick old 500-page book, you want me to know all of this in literally 2 weeks? So I'm going to take this section by section.
Yeah.
And then try to perfect it and then move on, and you can't get frustrated. And sometimes you just got to say, as an athlete, I don't know what this is, especially early on.
Yeah.
So what do I do, coach, on this? So, not to say you won't know it the next time. So they want to see not, repeat, offenders to same mistakes. So you want to see there's some growth there. But, this is an exciting time for the coaches, for sure, and the players. Just all the newness, getting acclimated to your new teammates, facilities, and everything else. So, I don't know if you could take too much away as a fan. I think, it really starts at training camp. Even OTAs, it's just kind of still kind of filling through who's what. And then you want to see at training camp, boom, everything is supposed to be reactive. Seeing the players, act instinctively as they are athletes. And you can really see, he has at least enough ability to be an NFL player. Now, is he sharp enough? Does he fit? Is he, a fit as far as the roster? Do we have already veterans die? Can he threaten a veteran backup guy to take his spot? I heard him talking about one or two guys surprised. I think that's going to be every year for every team. Undrafted guys that could possibly make the team, depending on where the roster's at their position.
Yep.
So I think more and more that's going to happen because it's all draftable, graded guys. But I'll be interested to see who stands out there. I know a lot of people are going to talk about Montgomery, the receiver, right? I know, at least on the defense side, I'm going to try to pick a defensive guy. Just without even seeing anything at this point in time, I'm still going to go with the hometown favorite, and that's Key Lawrence. I love to see what he can bring to the table at safety.
Yep.
They're out of UCLA, then Oklahoma, and then before that, Tennessee. Watch this kid at Innsworth and his growth. If he can catch on and get the stuff down, his ability that got him under Key Lawrence, his ability, he has athletic ability to play in the National Football League at safety. So I'd love to see what, and when he was at Oklahoma, he played a lot at Tennessee. So I want to see if he can really put it together mentally, because really once you have the ability, only the mental part can keep you from making a roster, even if it's on a practice squad.
6'1", 206-pound safety. I mean, and like you said, he's got the athleticism you're looking for, on tape and stuff. I know I've caught just one game of his, but it's really because I was kind of focusing on another player. But I know, I mean, there's a couple of safeties, and we're going to talk about free agents a little bit later, but safety, cornerback, really just defensive back in general, there is a wide open competition on that back end of the roster. And so it's going to be really important, I think, to keep an eye on those players, to your point. I love the idea that he's not going hard with the drafted players.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's I think there's been a few people that I think, listen, I get it from a media standpoint, it's really boring, but guess what? Just don't go tomorrow to practice. Yeah. If you find it, boring or whatever, you don't have to go to practice, but like I think it's really smart process, and especially because he even said, like, we had Dante Fowler and he tore an ACL early, and call me gun shy, I guess, but I mean, I think the way that he laid it out. Let's hear from Robert Saleh and how he laid it out, just in case our listeners missed it. This is Robert Saleh talking about the why won't the draft picks be doing on-field activities during rookie minicamp.
The draft picks, to give background, when they're going through the draft process, especially the 30 visits, they've been doing a lot of traveling. So over the weekend with our draft picks, we're going to be doing more baseline checking with them. So they'll be with the weight room, the strength and conditioning coaches. They're meeting with all of us throughout the day, but as far as practice goes, they'll be with the strength and conditioning staff, creating a baseline to see where they're at.
Is this something that you've done before with your draft picks?
I've call it a scar. I was on the staff that saw Dante Fowler tear his ACL on the first rep of rookie minicamp, and so I've just taken the philosophy. These guys have had a lot. They've had a lot of stress over the last month. Their bodies aren't ready for football, and so we're just trying to see where they're at so we can properly get them acclimated once they get here with the veterans.
Is that a flaw in the system, the way it's set up, to where guys can't come right in and compete? You said they're not ready for football yet because they've been training for combine stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a flaw. You've got to compete in the moment, and they're for all intents and purposes, they're competing to get drafted as high as they can. And once they get drafted, it's the organization's responsibility to go through their due diligence to make sure they're doing what's right for the player. And every team's different, And I'm not saying our way's the right way. It just some teams will go 11 on 11 and throw all their rookies in there and see what they're at. But like I said, you can call it just scars and just trying to make sure that we do things the right way. This weekend's not going to make or break anything. And the second part to it also is we get so enamored with the draft picks that our eyes kind of get fixated on them and their movement. And there's about 40 or 50 other guys. I don't know the exact roster, but we really want to make sure that all our scouts, all our coaches, all of our attention is on these undrafted free agents and tryout guys, just to see if we can find one or two that can make this 90-man and compete.
I love it. I mean, no notes. We talked about on this show, how many times have we talked about, like, even the rookies from last year spent all offseason training for the combine, and now this year, the second year jump, we hope some of these 2025 rookies they get to focus on conditioning, and they got to go through it, and they get to focus on their craft and everything, and not having to run a 40-yard dash. I love it. I love it so much for this team.
Well, I think he said it best. It'll work for some teams not. And I would say I would agree with this premise. I still believe I would take him out here and have him moving around, jogging out around. And he didn't say he wasn't going to be doing that. He did say what they were going to be doing, and the focus will be on them. But you also get to look at some of these undrafted guys who are going to be going full-fledged. And guess what? Weren't they doing the same thing?
They were doing the same thing.
Oh, right. Now, some a lot more than others, because I'm sure some of the guys who didn't get drafted, priority undrafted guys, were at the combine as well. But the majority of them probably just did their own pro day.
Yeah.
So, they get to go out there and compete and get a leg up a little bit as far as on the mental side of things and, giving the first looks to the new coaching staff. So, yeah, I like it. I think you're pretty much saying that most of these guys, and probably all the guys from draft class are going to make the team. So, that's pretty much square done. We want to make sure we take care of them. They're ready to rock and roll. So, yeah, it's hard to disagree with this whole premise because I've always talked about how, training for the combine and all your pro day is totally different than getting ready to play actual football. So it's just kind of interesting to see that he is actually taking that to the next level.
Yeah, and it sounds like it's something that he's always done, at least as a head coach. I mean, I'm with it. I'm with it. Sound logic. Yeah, I'm with sound logic and good process from this team for sure.
I would have him standing on the sideline, though, the least drafted guys while these other guys are practicing, watching and kind of keeping them engaged and as the position coaches ask them, questions as it's going on.
Yeah, that is because I think they're sending them back in with the way that it was worded, at least by one of the media. And I kind of agree with that. I think that's an extra layer of the process he should add.
Yeah. Because also, even though most of these guys probably won't be on the roster as far as the guys that are out there practicing, you also want them to see what it looks like, because these guys are going to have a little bit more edge and hunger.
Yeah.
Because they know that every step matters in the process from here on out. So you want to make sure that they come in and say, hey, man, I'm a much better player, and that you got this kind of chip on your shoulder that, when I start practicing, you're going to see that it's a big difference between you and me.
Yeah.
You want to start already this competitive edge and nature that you're going to have to be an NFL player. So I definitely would have them on there, and I'd be asking them questions while the play is going on. What you do on this play? Cornerback coach, safety coach, linebacker coach. I'm talking, we always dialogue. Anthony Hill Jr., you got the dot? Hey, man, what was supposed to be? What's the check? If they motion, what happens here? You want to see how he's picked it up in practice right now mentally, because then once you got that part, the rest just lays out, especially if it's just some fundamental things that they're putting in. It's just base principles of what they do on offense and defense.
Love it. All right. When we come back, we'll hear from a select few of the players as they will be talking at Vanderbilt Health Clinic.
Vanderbilt
Center?
Health Football Center.
Well, I'll get there. Vanderbilt Health Football Center. They'll be doing a presser later in just a few moments. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone. Cover 2. Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors, 615-737-1045. Join us as we broadcast live from Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply in Mount Juliet, Friday, May 8th in the morning, and then at our Murfreesboro location that afternoon for Ferris Days Open House. Come on down during Ferris Days to get the best financing and best prices of the year. Go where the pros go. Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply. Unlock everything Ferris has to offer. Ferris Days only at Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply. Get your mom a tractor for
for
Mother's
rookie
Day.
minicamp.
Or Mother's Day.
Yeah, Mother's Day.
Ross, Mother's Day's next weekend. Do you know that? Your mom bakes a lot of
Yes.
stuff for us.
Oh, I've got it covered. Don't worry about that.
I don't know about that.
I usually get her good gift. She's a big Cowboys fan, so it's usually Cowboys themed.
You better, because it is Mother's Day next weekend. You can go to the Dickens Turf and Landscape and get her a riding lawnmower if you want.
I don't even think she would use that.
Well, she can ride around the neighborhood in it.
In a lawnmower?
Yeah.
Okay.
George Jones did it. Why can't you? You think your mom's too good to ride around on, or not good enough to ride around on a lawnmower?
No, too good.
She's too good.
You got it right.
All right, so the time has shifted for when the players speak. They're going to speak at 2:15 p.m. today. So we're just going to hear from Robert Saleh the rest of the way. He had a few interesting things to say. Let's go. We were just talking about rookie minicamp. We were talking about the undrafted free agents and how maybe one or two could find their way onto the roster.
That's what he said as well.
Yeah, and so let's hear what he had to say. How hard is it for the UDFAs to crack a roster?
It's hard, man, and I can appreciate it. But I feel like every year, one or two guys kind of shine and they make it to the 90-man roster. And I actually told him a story about Benson Mayowa. Back when I was in Seattle, he was a tryout guy. We were the only rookie minicamp tryout that he had, and that was a world championship team that had one of the best defenses in the history of football. And he not only made the 90, but made the 53 and had a long 9-year career. And so you never know. But it seems like one or two guys every year makes it to the 90.
You know what that just reminds me? I didn't look up your question yesterday about UDFAs and Hall of Fame and all that.
I forgot all about that question.
I'll have to do that because that just reminded me.
Ross do that?
Because he was talking about.
Ross said that was no way.
I don't know if Ross has a subscription to StatHead like I do.
Negative.
But that reminded me because he's talking about that UDFA having a 9-year career. So that reminded me that I needed to check that.
Oh, wow.
Hey, look,
Yeah.
real quick, just to say this for Tyron Montgomery purposes, because I think that's obviously everyone's top UDFA signing we brought in just because of the hype and the excitement. He can make this team. In 2023, when Robert Saleh was with the Jets, he had 2 UDFA receivers make the active 53 for week 1, Xavier Gibson and Jason Brownlee. We might have a better receiver room than they did at the time right now, but he's shown he's willing to do it, clearly. So...
Yeah, I mean, they're bringing in a lot. Like I said, 58, and they're still, I think, Hal Presley, Xavier Restrepo, and a few. There's like 2 more people from the team last year that are also showing up. One of the undrafted, or one of the tryouts is former 6th-round pick out of Auburn in the 2024 class, DJ James, cornerback out of Auburn. He got drafted by Seattle, I think, and then was with New England. He was part of a duo that entered in that, and I cannot remember the other Auburn kid's name. That was also a cornerback that came out. I was actually very surprised that I had to make sure there was not another DJ James from Auburn.
What round did he go to?
He went 6th round.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, he didn't make it. That's for sure. But I mean, I'm not saying that he's going to make this team, but I just thought that was an interesting name to pop up. I mean, a guy that's kind of been around and done this before. But let
me say this real quick
ahead.
about later round picks. You know, these 6th and 7th round guys, if the undrafted guy is better, I feel like Salah will actually cut them if they really think that they are better.
Yeah.
And so don't make it feel like you're a 6th, 7th round guy that you are automatic, because the level of play is minute, and it could be sometimes they get it just wrong in the other way, that the undrafted guy is actually the better guy. And players know the gap and they see it. They go, uh-oh. This guy has not only just potential, he's better than that guy. And that process starts evaluating right now. So I'm asking you, I know you may not know this question, is Restrepo and those guys like that practicing?
Yes, Restrepo is.
Okay, so I didn't know you just said, I want to,
I'll tell you, let me pull it up real quick.
They had the roster. All I could see was Restrepo at the top. There was nobody else I could see.
It is 4 people. It's David Abuka-Agoa, the international pathway player. Hal Presley, the 3rd wide receiver that they got on the practice squad. Joel Wilson, tight end that was on the practice squad last year, and Xavier Restrepo, wide receiver. Mm-hmm. I know it's going to make a lot of people mad when it comes down and happens.
Danger.
But there is danger afoot for Xavier Restrepo.
Oh, no doubt. And I will say also, as much as I love him, is Kinsey as well.
Yes.
And I know he's not practicing because he's got vested time. but their jobs are on the line right now. I mean, no doubt. And I'm talking about whatever perspective they were in last year. That means practice squad to on the roster, whatever it was. They're trying to elevate the back end of this roster, and they're going to be in for a fight.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know. We don't know what Dayball and Salah and Bradley, how they look at players than, previous staffs. Sometimes you want to bring in your type of player on your staff, unless it's just a big gap and you say, hey, man, this guy's just really good. We got to keep him. Yeah.
I mean,
that's a scary moment.
There's no loyalty, right? We already know the NFL's not known for its loyalty anyway.
Playing with my butt on fire if I'm Restrepo every rep. They would be like, hey, man, you need to slow down. I'm not slowing down. They need to catch up with me.
Yeah.
That's how I'd be thinking.
And I would assume that's how he probably attacks it. I mean, just from, I don't know him personally, but I
would assume he would be.
Yeah. But no slacking.
Yeah.
You don't have a moment to be on the sideline there.
Boy, they talking about, I'm like, hey, man, I got to go get mine, man. Whatever your motivation is to prove that you belong, you cheddar, whatever it is, you better go after it right now. So them young dudes come in and be like, dang, man, you see him? Man, he look good, boy. Man, I didn't know he was like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You want him going back home next week and be like, hey, man, I got to go to work. I don't know if I can reach that, but I got to see what I got to do.
Right.
Yeah. I want to put that fear out there if I'm that guy on that end that, hey, man, you ain't like me.
Well, and that's what they're looking for, right? They're looking for guys. I mean, it's not just the Tennessee Titans. Every team is looking for that guy.
Oh, no doubt.
Or plural, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got my numbers for the Hall of Fame if you're ready.
Oh, crap.
So yesterday,
what did I say?
Let's give you some grace.
You did say I didn't get it right.
You were on medicine.
I said, what did I say? I said that there were more players that are in the Hall of Fame that are undrafted than first-round picks.
You did. So
was that wrong or right?
It was wrong.
Oh, no, you did not just do 2010 to now.
No, I did all. All Hall of Fame players. Because I wanted to make sure I did that.
I said, well, how close was it?
Okay, so UDFAs are number 2. So second, third. You're very close.
Okay.
There's 142 first-round players in the Hall of Fame. There are 54 UDFAs in the Hall of Fame. Okay. There are 43 second-round picks. There are 27 third-round picks, 14 fourth-round picks, 8 fifth-round picks, 4 sixth-round picks, and just 10 seventh-round picks. So actually, seventh-rounders make it more than fifth and sixth.
I'm going to check over the weekend because I think he got this wrong.
That's according to StatHead. I did not limit it by year or anything.
He's forgetting all those HBCU dudes who are in the Hall of Fame.
Well, they would be undrafted, right?
Right. Well, most of them were.
You got one? You got a name? I'll double check, see if they're on here.
Richard did.
Okay. Let's go. Because I know Warren Moon is counted as an undrafted free agent.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I think because now you're just saying it's 50%.
Oh, Richard Dent is not on here as an undrafted free agent.
See, that's what I said. I knew because I think I'm right. And you're saying it's like 50%. Like, no, I think I'm closer to 80, 90, or maybe right.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think you need to go fact check and do a little better job and quit using AI.
Yeah, I'm not using AI.
I'm just kidding.
That is interesting that he's not on the list.
See?
Oh, it's because he's an 8th round pick. I got to do 8th rounders.
Oh, yeah.
That's
remember, it used to be 12 rounds, by the way.
I got to go 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, so I have to go through all those too.
Oh, well, maybe he's still not undrafted.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah. So that would be the difference.
Oh, man. I have no idea. It was like Herm Edwards and guys like that drafted. Mel Blount.
I don't know. I have
70s.
to let's see. 8th rounders, 3 8th rounders, and Richard Dent did make the list. So I'll have to go through 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. I forgot about that. That's a good point by you.
Yeah.
But I mean, to be fair, 54 undrafted free agents in the Hall of Fame.
You would have never guessed it. That's what I was really getting around to. I was hoping I was going to be right, but
yeah,
because there are a lot of undrafted players that are in the Hall of Fame. You would expect probably very few. Like a handful or 2 handfuls. But, yeah, there's always some misses. But, man, it's way more than you expect. When you
more than second rounders. Yeah, and to be honest, these 9th rounders, right, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th, 12th guys, those would be undrafted free agents
As
in
of
today's
today,
world.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you could technically, if we could boost that number up using the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, if we wanted to fudge the numbers just a little bit.
Maybe that's what I was doing.
Maybe we could do that. Because there were 5 ninth rounders, including Johnny Unitas, 9th round draft pick.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So we'll update those numbers once we get the 9th, 10th, and the 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th guys in there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think this will probably be the toughest year for UDFAs to make it that we've seen in a while on this roster, but I think there will be maybe 3 is where, would you set the over under at like 3.5?
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I'm not a gambler, but it depends on position. Like, I don't see a lot of offensive linemen on there.
No, they must be feeling pretty good about their offensive line.
I'm like, or unless they say our next move is we're going to go with a veteran guy who, in worst case scenario, we know is a backup in this league, and we got enough young guys to prove. I mean, I know they brought in the guy from Louisville and Notre Dame.
4 offensive linemen.
Yeah.
Now, what's interesting is I don't see, unless I'm missing it on this list. I mean, there's a lot of, maybe there's another section of it, but I didn't see Emil Wagner on this list. I see Trevor Brock, Bryce Foster, Derek Graham, Kobe Baines, and I know there's a kid, there's Rasheed Miller, that's the tackle from Louisville, and I know Emil Wagner is the tackle from Notre Dame, but I don't see them on this list. Does not mean that they're not there.
Oh.
Maybe I'm not getting the full list or something. But
are they at the bottom or towards the bottom?
No, just those 4 players I named. So that's something to keep an eye on, I guess. And one of the wide receivers I was talking about that was like 6'3", the one from Bowling Green, he's trying out as a tight end. That's probably good for him.
Yeah, because I saw Eddie George actually make a comment. Yeah, so what is his weight as of today?
Oh, that's a good question.
Was he like 225 or 230 or something? 215? He's got at least, because I know he ran like a 4.4 or 4.5 or something, but. So
Finn Hogan is the Bowling Green prospect we're talking about. He's 233.
Oh, so yeah, he's tight end size.
Yeah, he's 6'3", 233. He had a 39.5-inch vert and ran a 4.58. So that's about tight end speed, probably. Well, I don't know. Today's world, tight ends can run pretty dang fast.
Good job just on that. His explosiveness and speed for. Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, he has an 8.8 relative athletic score.
Well, just compare him to your boy Shinek. What was he? They're about the same size.
Yeah, Jaron Kinnick is 6'1", so he's actually shorter than.
They list him at 6'2", but
yeah,
but he's 232 or so.
Yeah, he is. Jaron Kinnick is 6. Oh, he is 6'2". He made the cut 6'2". 234. Yep,
similar.
Yep. There you go. 4.52.
That's my favorite player in the draft. I'm gonna be a go.
I don't know if you were on Twitter today, but this morning,
people ripping him.
No, this morning Stoney started watching Jackie Marshall tape, and he loves himself some Jackie Marshall, and he was watching it, and he was like sending me videos, and I can't play the videos on air because he was cussing in them, but like he's in love with some Jackie Marshall.
Hard. I mean, you get drafted. I mean, I'm just interested to see the transition for him.
Yeah.
Will he be more? I'm looking at him more as a player. What's the guy we had as the backup number 97 at D tackle? Lynch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's a great.
I think his game is somewhat like that, maybe a little more talented. So my expectations for him was going to be a rotational guy, maybe not dress sometime.
Yeah.
It depends on how many guys you want to dress, because it seems like they're going to dress a lot of guys since they're going to be doing a lot of rotating. Well, then what are you doing on the offensive line? And how many of those guys you dress? Because you probably can't dress but like 2 backups.
Yeah.
They can be multiple positions. So if you're going to do that with the D-line. I think he's in the rotation. It's just that I had never heard of anybody even talking about him. So I didn't know who the kid was.
Yeah, we didn't either. When he was drafted, you should have seen our faces on the live stream.
To me, he's just a smaller version, different build than the kid from Auburn, Falk. But they play similar styles. He just seems to be more seasoned, which was surprising. I looked at his background. He was a converted linebacker to play that position when he got to college, so he must have ate his way to that spot. The guy's tough. He plays the 4-eye just like they like in this defense, and eventually maybe could be a multi-tool player, but I don't see that part of it. I think they probably maybe look at it that way. I see him just as a D tackle. I'm interested to see, like, if he's out there down and became a starter, I don't know if that could work.
Yeah, I'm interested to see this whole thing. I'm interested to see, because we talked about the whole thing that they're not going to be, practicing this weekend. So I'm interested to see, like, how are they going to use him as just a strictly defensive tackle? But I kind of feel like this whole squad of guys that they have, most of them have inside-outside versatility, and he showed it on tape.
Oh, yeah, no, he did.
But
I just think it's eventually in the league, I don't think his size is going to enable him. It'll be interesting at defensive end. See,
right.
It's going to be interesting because the guy's only 6'2", probably 6'1.5-ish. So I don't know his arm length or anything like that. The guy's a good football player, but I just don't know in this scheme, can he be as versatile as you want? And that's what happens when you get a later round guy. I was one of them. So there are things missing and pieces that you just don't know until you actually see him in an NFL game, how he will look versus some, long-armed offensive tackles.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He'll find a way, though. Most players, if you don't find a way, you end up like, I may not make this roster. I may be a practice squad guy. So it will be interesting to see how quickly he adjusts.
I know everybody's really high on Pat Coogan and Fernando Carmona and those guys, and those guys need to make the roster more than likely, and they probably will. But I wouldn't be, like, if I had to choose between Jaron Connick and Jackie Marshall, like betting odds, making the roster, or Fernando Carmona and Pat Coogan, I think I would bet on Jackie Marshall and Jaron Connick. I don't know, because I feel like those two guys are going to make it really difficult for you to cut them.
Yeah. Well, I think all those guys are going to make it. I don't know if I have a higher percentage for one. You know me, I'm really with the Connick. So I'm a little biased there. I think with the offensive linemen, and I'm not a guru, I'm just going to say this. Have they already peaked? So they're seasoned guys. Now they need to learn what they need to do to manage in the NFL. Sometimes that can lead to being a starter and being an average to below average starter.
Yeah.
And sometimes that can be, you're going to be a backup.
Yep.
So I don't know what they are when I watch them. I just don't see enough yet until I see them on the football field versus other NFL guys, even just at practice, what they will become.
Yeah, are you getting a Corey Levin and a Dennis Kelly, or are you getting a looking into and getting like a Quentin Spain or a Dylan Parham? Just
That's
names that pop in my head.
Yeah, at least from the Titans, you know, the people who know those guys. So it's kind of hard to see what they are at this point until you see them on the field, because I've gotten some guys wrong until I see him on the field. I go, oh man, this guy's going to be, his game adjusts quickly. He's going to be fine. And at other positions as well. So until you see him, do you really know? Because when I watch, especially the Coogan, who I want to be a big fan of, to be honest, there's a part of me, I don't think he's athletic enough. See,
he may not be.
There's a side to me, I go, ooh, I don't know. If he doesn't become the technician that he needs to become, down and down, and I think he's capable, but you just don't know.
Because there is a difference between, like, Schlottman, not very athletic, but he's probably NFL athletic, right? Like, there's a difference between not being athletic and not being athletic enough.
Stiff and too physical than, he's not NFL athletic enough.
Right.
Yeah.
And I would say that Carmona, with his basketball and tight end background, there is got to be some hidden athleticism in there somewhere for you to.
About him. Yeah, see, that's why. Yeah.
But now he's all technique, it feels like, because he's got the attitude, he's got the athleticism, but he's all technique. So how quick can he change his bad habits?
I think, exactly. With coaching, I think he could be potentially a starter first year.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I watch him, I think of Benji Olsen.
Ooh.
Because Benji was a bull. Boom. Man, then he learned to keep his head down. Then he learned how to be a technician. Then he learned when to be physical, when not. He could pull. I see him in this vein. Not an elite player, but a really good, solid guard for the NFL.
And that's what you need, right? Like,
that's what I see. Potentially.
Yeah, potentially. That's what you need. Let's hear from Robert Saleh real quick. What are they looking for from these rookie tryouts?
Gotta give me advance notice.
You gotta be be on your game.
Oh my!
Well, one, you're not naming you're not giving the numbers. I can't see the full.
Sorry, I'm going in order.
Call him out, Rob.
That's right. You got to give me some advance notice.
I know you're not used to it, but I'm going in order.
Some advance notice.
Oh man, he's that guy would have made excuses as a player. What my fault, coach? It's because he didn't tell me. Don't you?
This is why I should have been a lawyer. My mom always says I should have been a lawyer.
We got it.
Okay, this is Robert Saleh. What they're looking for from rookie tryouts.
From all these guys, the reality is, from a coaching staff standpoint, we've put in the bare minimum. We're trying to allow these guys to play as fast as humanly possible where they're not thinking. And the expectation for them, just take your shot. It's schematically, we're going to put them in a position where they're not thinking. They can just go play. Don't worry about the things that you don't have control over. Compete the best you can. But at the end of the day, they've got 3 days of being an NFL player at the very least, and being a Tennessee Titan, and which I think is pretty freaking cool. And so hopefully it goes the way they're all hoping.
I love it. And you know what? Also, I kind of noticed, like, I bet this is really probably one of if you were a coach, like one of your favorite weekends of the calendar.
It's like it was Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You can tell he's talking. Oh, man, it's Christmas. I got all these new toys.
Right.
I got all these new toys, and I get to let them just go play and see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really, they speak how I think, and, great minds think alike, right?
That is right.
Because, he says we're giving them bare minimum. Here's what he's really saying is, I could care less if we get all the scheme and system into play. I want to see who can just actually freaking play ball.
Yeah.
Like, let's see that first. And then we'll start saying, okay, let athleticism take over. And then we'll say we're going to then give them some things to think about the next go round. We're going to give them bare minimum as far as mentally. We don't want to slow them down. We want to see what we got here. Because sometimes the tape can fool you. It can.
Right.
It can. Sometimes the testing can fool you. So until you see the guy in your system playing what you want him to do, or do you start, maybe we'll do this with him more so, and maybe we'll move his position if you're capable of doing that, coming back after that camp. Yeah.
Hey, listen, how many people have called in and said that you need to coach football? And now we're just hearing that Robert Saleh.
They speaking to me. They speaking. I felt like, oh, dang, man, you think like I do. Oh,
so there you go. Everybody's going to see
his checks are a lot bigger than mine. He got a whole bunch more zeros. So I don't know if we're on the same plane.
Yeah.
But I wish we were.
All right.
So, that's fun. It's just fun to hear because I'm hearing football guys talk football, and I haven't heard that in so long since Vrabel, really. And then Vrabel didn't want to give us nothing. So these guys give it to us, and I love it.
And there's a lot more that we'll get to, too, but to me, it's like we're getting the X's and O's, and we're not being tight-lipped about it too much, right? We're not being uptight about, to your point about Mike Vrabel, and I liked some of the stuff that we got from Brian Callahan in the beginning. I thought he was very honest, and the nerd in me liked it. But then I thought there was some stuff where I was like, "Oh, that doesn't really sound like makes sense to me." And this, every time I hear Robert Saleh speak, I feel like you're getting the temperament of Brian Callahan almost, but like the football knowledge of Mike Vrabel, right? Like the perfect kind of. I feel like I get a lot of hardball from him, not Jim Harbaugh, John Harbaugh. Like I get a little bit of Harbaugh vibes from him in the sense of how he talks to the media and how he relays information and what he finds important.
Yeah. Well, and I think he also is authentic, when he's speaking to us and giving us as much as he can when cross the line and tell you the full story. But you could, can read what he's talking about. So, yeah, I appreciate that. That means he's a savvy head coach. It's not his first rodeo.
Yeah, that is true. And this is probably a much easier media market than what he faced up in New York.
It was the worst. New York, now that's pretty hard, man.
He got a little bit of gruff over the new assignments or wherever because there's construction on the fields, and apparently the media feels like they're getting punished over there.
Well, what did he have to do with that? What did he?
He doesn't have anything to do with it. Apparently, he's like, just talk to Everett. I don't handle construction. I don't handle anything. So, like, why y'all asking me?
Exactly. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I'm a football coach. That has nothing to do with the construction, man. I'm with him on that.
30 years, man.
Yeah, 30 years. We'll hear more from Robert Saleh when we come back. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone.
One of the marks of a good parent, they warn their kids about danger, who to trust and what to avoid, and how to make smarter choices, actually. And hey, folks, it's Blaine Bishop for Eurofix. And Eurofix repairs European vehicles, and Eurofix believes in warning their customers too. In one case, Eurofix wrote a $5,500 refund check to a customer. You said, who does that? Well, Eurofix polices themselves is who does that. And why? Because not every auto shop tells you the full story. Some oversell, others cut corners, some just may not know what to do. So you could pay for something that you don't need. And Eurofix makes quality repairs at below dealer pricing, has been since 1999. You also get a free 15-minute no-wrench inspection with a 3-year, 36,000-mile nationwide warranty on all the work Eurofix performs. And rental cars are available with every appointment. So to stay off the tow truck, you must come to Eurofix. Family-owned, locally, over a quarter century, 5 locations and more to come. And all you have to do is just give them a call at 844-EUROFIX. That's right, 844-EUROFIX, or you can check them out online at myEurofix.com. That's myEurofix.com.
Cover 2. Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by all 4 Seasons Garage Doors. 615-737-1045 is the number. We'll be joined by Jordan Dejaney of CBS Sports at the top of the hour. Ooh. And then we'll hear from the NFL rookies at 2:15. The Titans rookies, I guess, just to say. Let's go to clip number 4, Ross.
Ooh.
And see, I learned.
Now we're streamlined. We all on the same accord.
I didn't know he needed his hand held, so now I'll hold his hand for him.
Watch this. I always need my hand held. Until I get it at least one time.
Yeah, at least one time. I've learned this is what my teammate needs, yes. And I'm going to provide it. So this is Robert Saleh, clip number 4. This is what has he seen from Cam Ward and Carnell Tate in early interactions?
It has been minimal. I think it's we're excited to get him back here next week. It's not next week, but the week after. But they've got a lot of they've all got a lot of work to do. You know, you got a new system, new coordinator, new position coaches, Cam. Not even with the guys that have been here over the last year, from last year. You know, there's just a lot of work to be done, especially with any incoming rookie. And Carnell's got to go out. He's got to compete. He's got to prove that he belongs. He's got to prove that he deserves the ball. And it's going to start day one once he gets here.
Going to start day one once he gets there. And I guess there's an extra mini camp, I think, this year because he's a new head coach.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So that'll
at least
be
they
good.
get started earlier, and I don't know if that means they get another extra mini camp. I don't know when they start early.
That was a good clip, but there's a better clip, and we're going to go to number 10. And this is, will they let Tate focus on one wide receiver spot or move him around as he gets adjusted?
Well, that's part of the system in terms of, you know, your base fundamental teaching starts in square one, where this is who you are, this is where you're going to align. But Dayball's system is designed to be able to move the players wherever he needs to move them, to be able to put us in advantageous situations. And so whether it's moving Ridley around, whether it's moving Wendell around, whether it's moving Alec, Carnell, anyone, moving the back all over the place. Taj has a really good ability out of the backfield. So, you know, we're working on all that stuff, but eventually he's going to have to figure all that stuff out.
So it sounds like maybe a little bit of, we'll get you adjusted a little bit, but you're going to be pretty quickly moving around this formation, so you got to know all the roles and all the route trees and everything pretty quick.
Well, I think he wants him to fundamentally, and I really agree with his teaching methods. This is one thing that was really big. I mean, throwing a whole playbook at you and then saying, okay, now go, instead of saying, okay, we're going to get you to learn this, and then after that, we're going to start moving you around. No different than we're going to do all the other guys because we want different pieces. Because here's why I always say that is because on the defensive side, when I'm looking at y'all give me all the cheat sheet codes, and I study them, right? Yeah, so once you start moving those pieces around, and they all are universal, then all of a sudden there is no cheat code. They can just change the formation, like, oh, they just did this because they want to target this guy. Well, oh, no, they were going on the backside because they wanted you to think that that's what they were doing. So what happens is they run the same plays they run on film, at least for a 4-week window.
Right.
This is how the NFL works, right? This is how I learned as a player. For 4 weeks, they're going to pretty much, really 3 to 4 weeks, they're going to run their offense. They got their base plays that they're going to run them every game. Now, every game, they're also going to put in some new plays. So you got to be ready to read your keys and formations and then to stay aligned to it, what they're doing and what your responsibilities are. So you got to look into that. That's why all I did, I already knew how many times he targeted Neighbors when I asked you the other day. Yeah. Because guess what? He knew he was going to go to him.
Right.
Yeah, so he moved him around and made sure this guy is a focal point. And so then you say, okay, Tate's going to be the focal point. That doesn't mean that Ridley and Wandale and Alec and don't mean they're not going to be part of it. He's going to be the focal point because every time you go into a game, what do I say? Who are you game planning against?
Right.
It's going to be Tate. And then guess what? Everybody else flirts. And once you start saying, we in trouble, we got to stop these other guys. They need help. Then all of a sudden you come on around back to Tate. And bang, then he takes the top off the defense. So that's why you need these elite level players to come into the game and somebody sitting down and say, hey, man, the D coordinator, OC, we got a game plan to stop this fool. This dude is incredible. What are you doing? So we have to come in every game. They're going to start seeing that. We got to find a way to contain Tate. I mean, everybody else takes off.
Well, he even mentioned Tajay Spears a lot, and I
love hearing that because we haven't done that.
Right. And I'm thinking about Nicholas Singleton's tape, right? Singleton's tape, he was being moved around. And there's film where he split out wide and running a real route down the field.
That's
and
why I said you better watch out. That dude may start after this year.
Yeah.
Pollard's up, Tajay's up. Just move right on up.
But they're talking about this scheme, and it's gonna be a tough scheme. And there's a reason why Robert Saleh went out of his way to try to get Brian Daboll here, besides just a big name, right? It's because he's a defensive coordinator that's probably had to game plan against this team. Yeah. And against this style of offense, and knows how much of a headache it is throughout the week.
So until we see it, they got a lot of toys.
Yeah.
They got a lot of pieces. Now, and they're young,
Right.
so let's see how quickly, besides Ridley, how quickly this whole thing comes together and everybody understands their role and nobody's wondering, hey, man, when I'm getting my cheese.
Right.
When I'm in the ball,
Yeah.
So hopefully it'll be fun because every week you'll be like, dang, man, they featured Tajay Spears this week coming out of the backfield. They split him out. Oh, this week, Gunnar Ham, we must not forget.
Yeah.
We focused on all the other dudes, and Gunnar Ham had a 120-yard day. What? The tight end? And then people watch that on tape
Killed
for a
us
couple
all
weeks.
down the seam all damn day.
They was like, okay, we got to slow Gunnar Ham.
Yeah.
Nah, man. All of a sudden, guess what? Old man really comes for the day for 150. And you be like, man, he still got it. You wonder what the heck going on. Then you go, the next week is Rondell Robinson. Jitterbuggy all over the place, moving the chains, just kept it going, looked like it was easy. See, that then brings problems to your defenses.
Because you don't know what you're going to see, right? Like you're keeping them guessing. And to me, not only is this probably the best weaponry, all-around weaponry we've had, I feel
In a long
I feel
time.
very confident in the guy at the helm to provide that headache, to provide that confusion to that team, to provide that little bit of panic, right?
Yeah, a little bit of hesitation.
panic and
I don't know
hesitation.
I'm not going that far about the hesitation. There's never a panic.
Yeah.
But their hesitation, like, okay, what are we trying to do? Or they come out with a formation they hadn't shown because of all the versatility in these players. So I
want to see some defenders of these opposing teams start blaming each other. I thought you had that guy.
Some guys would be like, I don't want to guard that dude, man. By the way, let me bring in my favorite player. I'll let you say his name because I'll mess it up. Janek.
Connect.
His name, it started with a K, even though it's a J.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just think
it starts with Jaron Connect.
Oh, okay, got you.
You're combining
I'm
the
gonna say
names.
just Connect, like Dalton Connect.
Yeah,
okay.
there you go.
Oh yeah, and guess what? When we bring him in, even though it's spelled different, it's pronounced the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we bring in Connect, and he's at fullback, and he runs that lead at that linebacker, they go, oh man, they're gonna come in, they're gonna run again. Then all of a sudden they split him out, and then he's running a slant, a 7 route, a seam route.
Hey, he gets open, man.
Boy, you go watch the tape.
Yeah.
This guy is a multi-tool player. I mean, and then he could play tight end motion to the backfield.
I think your use check, idea.
I love the use check. He's
that's
a
great.
problem. Every
Yes.
time I watch the 49ers, he gives the team props, even if he's
And
just
where did
blocking.
Robert Saleh come from? Right? I mean, and let's be honest. I have this book by Bobby Peters that he took every play and broke it down and talked about for the San Francisco 49ers offense. I can't remember if it's 2022 or 2023. But people don't understand how much they use check just as a decoy or to clear out, to make room for other people, because he does have to be paid attention to as a receiver out of the backfield.
Yeah.
But he's such a focal point from the offensive perspective, even if he's not the focal point from the opposing team's defense and how he's deployed. And people he's very unheralded in that regard.
He's high value because he can motion, he can be multi. Just think you split him out. Connect, you split him out. What linebacker wants to guard him? Watch this. Well, I'm going to go Titans versus Titans. Connect versus Cody Barton in space.
Killed.
Cedric Gray. No, see, that's who they're weak. If you got Anthony Miller in the middle, he ain't running from the middle to go cover somebody out there because of his athleticism.
Right.
Mismatch. And that ain't just the Titans. That's the majority of the teams in the National Football League.
Right.
That's why I love that player. Because I see what he can bring to it. And he may be disappear for 5 weeks. And then 1 week you go, oh, man, he dominated. And then people going to say, watch this. Why do we do this every? No, because he's a tool piece.
Yeah.
No, you don't use him like that every week.
Right.
It's when you got the mismatches and you see they didn't plan for them.
Right. Well, I went back and looked see if any of Brian Dable's offenses had a fullback. And so I went to 2018 and 2019 of the Buffalo Bills, his first 2 years there, and he had a guy named Patrick DeMarco, who 133 snaps in 2018 out of the backfield. He had as a traditional fullback and a halfback. And then at the slot, 14 snaps at the slot, 34 snaps out wide.
How many catches, though? Catches? Or was he a true fullback?
He had 8 targets, 5 catches. So not a lot for that year. And he didn't have a lot in 2018 and 2019 either. He's never been a big pass catcher, but that's the thing is like, okay, this guy obviously wasn't a pass catcher, right? this guy is. So now we're adding an extra dimension to something that he's already familiar using. Now we have an extra dimension, a little bit extra flavor to use that guy.
I completely agree.
Yeah. All right, coming up next, we'll go around the NFL with Jordan DeJaney of CBS Sports. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone.
Good afternoon, live from the Circus Sports at the Mint Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Ross Johnston. The Titans rookie minicamp has begun this morning and will wrap up tomorrow. However, the 2026 draft class will not be on the field as Coach Saleh is reserving the on-field portion for UDFA signings and camp invites only. In NFL news, the Packers have invited former Steelers and Bears receiver Chase Claypool to rookie minicamp for a tryout. Claypool has not played since 2023 and was a second-round pick by the Steelers in the 2020 draft. Also, Andrew Marchand reports that NFL quarterback Russell Wilson is considering joining CBS Sports' NFL coverage to replace Matt Ryan this upcoming season. Wilson took a visit to the Jets earlier this week, but is strongly considering doing television. Lastly, Vol basketball is gaining steam on Wake Forest transfer Juke Harris as On3's Pete Nakos logged an expert prediction for Tennessee to land him. For all your foundation repair and your waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Door. We've learned during the break.
Yep,
Ross
taught us,
Canic, like panic.
Yep, Canic like panic. Thank you.
Thanks to the Dean, I keep calling him Dean Brugler, second time a day. Dane Brugler's Beast for pointing that out for us. Let's go to round the NFL with Jordan Dejaney of CBS Sports. And Jordan, who will be the most talked about undrafted free agent in their respective season here in Nashville? Diego Pavia or Xavier Restrepo last year?
I'm going to go with Diego Pavia. How about that? Pavia, man, I was a little surprised that he ended up going undrafted, right? Because it seemed like Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport told us that there's going to be a team out there that takes a swing of the bat on this highly competitive kid. Now, if I were an NFL general manager, for example, I don't think I'd be drafting Pavia because he's as tall as I am, and I don't think I can see over the offensive line being a quarterback. So a little surprised to see him go undrafted. And here's the other surprising part of the story, I should say. We got word that he was going to the Ravens on a tryout, right? He wasn't signing a deal. But then the Ravens signed another quarterback from UConn and ended up extending a deal to Diego Pavia. So thought it was very curious. The general manager ended up changing his mind and taking Pavia from a tryout player to a 3-year deal.
Speaking of the Ravens owner Steve Bisciotti finally makes his own draft pick. He actually got to make a draft pick, and it was Adam Randall. Talk about that story from the weekend.
Yeah, isn't that cool? When we talk about NFL owners, we often talk about guys like Dan Snyder who overstep their bounds and use their power to make selections or make free agency signings. Well, Steve Bisciotti is not one of these guys. He gives all his duties to Eric DeCosta. That's the one making the draft calls in the war room. And finally, this year, Steve Bisciotti said, hey, man, listen, we've got like 3 or 4 fifth-round picks. Can I use one of them? Can I do my own research and pick one of my players? And after a night of a few drinks, Eric DeCosta said, sure, why not? So Bisciotti ended up employing the help of the GM's son, actually, to kind of scout the guys and come to a realization on who they wanted. And it was kind of a funny story because they were hoping that the Ravens wouldn't pick this guy ahead of their selection, or if another team would move up to select this guy. Ultimately, Adam Randall, the running back out of Clemson, ended up falling to Baltimore, so they were able to use that pick. And Bisciotti was able to call him and give him that information, which was kind of cool. And remember, when I was on the show with you guys a couple weeks ago, Adam Randall was actually one of my sleepers in this draft. A hybrid wide receiver turned running back, physical runner, not the most polished running back prospect in this class, but that dude is a dangerous weapon if he's utilized correctly.
I got to talk a little bit about the Eagles drama because there's always seems like there's Eagles drama every week. Former offensive line coach Jeff Stoutland reveals what went wrong for the Eagles in 2025. What do you have to say?
He said, it ain't that hard. That's what he said. That was the main quote coming from that article and that interview with the Kelsey brothers. It ain't that hard. They had bad execution, and they weren't playing up to their standard against lesser opponents, if you will. And I think that's very true. Anyone who watched the Eagles would agree with that. But there was more to the story than just what Stoutland said on that podcast. I don't want people to forget that ESPN reported earlier this offseason that Nick Sirianni and former offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo started kind of taking over the run game coordinator duties away from Jeff Stoutland and started trying to make changes to the run blocking, and also with Saquon Barkley that Jeff Stoutland was not exactly in the room helping incorporate those changes. So according to reports, Jeff Stoutland felt like his voice wasn't really being heard inside the organization, which led to him retire. And he did not plan on retiring, so it was definitely a surprise this offseason.
We're going around the NFL with Jordan Dejaney of CBS Sports.
Well, speaking of retiring or resigning, kind of give us your take on this Chad Brinker resigning.
Yeah. Remember when the Titans fired Rand Carthon but promoted Chad Brinker? That was a controversial decision because for some reason, Chad Brinker was found innocent when it came to the tragic fall of the franchise. But when the Titans hired Mike Borgonzi as their general manager, remember, there was some debate about who has roster control. Well, thankfully, it's Mike Borgonzi, clearly, because Brinker even said in his statement that he spent less time in personnel, which led to his resignation. I'm not going to pretend to know, like, I know Chad Brinker that well. I've never met him. I've never interviewed with him. But I think Titans fans were happy when they heard that he was stepping down because he was certainly a forward-facing member of the Titans' fall from grace, as I would describe it.
You got any insider on who may replace him or maybe someone of lesser duties that you think possibly could do it, maybe within the staff, or will they hire outside, or do you think they'll fill the position at all?
Yeah, I've heard people talk about Bryce Wasserman. I don't know if he's qualified necessarily to do what Chad Brinker did, but that's a name being thrown around. Ultimately, who knows if it's going to be someone from out of the house or in-house, or if there's another person in the organization that kind of absorbs those duties. So not 100% sure on that.
Well, I know you're a big Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and Aaron Rodgers got this restricted, I guess, tag. I've never even heard of this. Please explain to me what that is. They can restrict a 20-year veteran quarterback to stay with the team. Kind of explain this whole process. I missed the boat on this. This is the first time I've ever seen this. Kind of give me some other examples as well.
Yeah, I'm sick of talking about Aaron Rodgers, but I'm not sick about talking about the UFA tender. That's a fascinating thing we can break down here. And it's a tender that's usually not used on very notable players. So what this does is it basically, if Aaron Rodgers signs it, it can give him a 10% raise from the money he was making last year. But more importantly, the Steelers will hold exclusive negotiating rights to Rodgers if he does not sign with another team by training camp, or I think the other date is July 22nd. But plus, if Aaron Rodgers decides to sign with another team, which is very much allowed, the Steelers will have the ability to match that offer, or just in case, let him go to a different franchise. And what's important about this tag is that since they utilized it, it's not only just so Pittsburgh will have exclusive negotiating rights when training camp rolls around, but also if Aaron Rodgers signed with another team like the Tennessee Titans, Pittsburgh would be eligible in the compensatory pick formula. So that was an important transaction for the team. What I will tell you is it's scary that Pittsburgh had to utilize this tag, because what it shows the NFL world is that they truly don't know what the hell Aaron Rodgers is going to do. They would not issue this tag if they knew for a fact that Rodgers could enter the building tomorrow and sign with the team. It seems like the franchise and their brass is not really on the same page with Rodgers, and we don't know what's going to happen. We understand that the organization could come out and say, listen, this was just something we had to do. It shouldn't send any kind of message to the NFL world that Rodgers is leaving, but that's the way it's being accepted by other people around the league.
Well, with Jordan DeJani, info writer for CBS, I guess I'm going to move forward. And I thought I'd never ask you another question about Vrabel, but this is more on the Roger Goodell. And I saw him in an interview say that this is not a, conduct policy, violation. It's more personal. Kind of explain to me what the policy is and how that could be, that it's not just personal, it's also part of the conduct, maybe because of information he could have been given her that could have skewed other things that's going on in the NFL. Or if maybe I'm wrong on that.
No, I totally understand what you're saying. And listen, I don't, agree or condone whatever Mike Vrabel did or allegedly did.
Right, on the personal side.
Right. But it's important for me to note that, because I agree with Roger Goodell, and I think that Mike Vrabel's conduct does not go against the NFL's personal conduct policy. So what that is that everyone who is a part of the league, and I'm talking about from players to just people who work for different franchises, they must, quote unquote, refrain from conduct detrimental to the integrity of and the public confidence in the NFL. And usually this conduct has to do with things that are illegal or violent or dangerous or irresponsible and putting innocent victims at risk. And the NFL, with the personal conduct policy, also talks about damaging the reputation of others in the game and undercutting public respect and support for the NFL. Now, if you wanted to stretch it out and said that Mike Vrabel going unpunished undermines the confidence people have in the Shield, I think that's a little bit of a stretch. So I agree with Roger Goodell in the sense of, I don't think what Mike Vrabel did, although wrong on a very personal and moral playing field, if you will, it doesn't exactly go against the NFL rules. When it comes to the information he may or may not be giving Diana Rossini, listen, coaches and coordinators, whoever it is around the league, have the ability to talk to reporters and basically tell them anything they want. You ask a very curious question. I don't know if the NFL would want to look into, was Vrabel giving too much away to Rossini? What exactly is the unwritten code when it comes to the league and how they view that? So I'm not 100% certain.
Well, I'm going to give you a hypothetical scenario, which probably didn't happen. But let's just say he texted her during draft time, and all of a sudden it skewed the people that she then hence text to team, and then they changed their mind and drafted a player maybe that the Titans was going to draft. How does that put under the personal conduct policy?
Yeah, well, I'll say this. I mean, we've seen coaches and personnel people lie to reporters before. That's not something that's completely new. And I think that they put out messages like that in order to get players to drop or whatever it may be. We see that such as in times with the NFL Combine, right? When this player had a terrible interview when in reality they actually didn't. And some teams just want different prospects to fall for them. So people put out information that's wrong all the time. Todd McShay talked a lot about that this draft cycle. He said he got by one of his sources in terms of what the New York Jets was telling him. So I think you ask an interesting hypothetical, but those guys being lied to is something that has certainly happened before.
Right, but they put the information out there. She did not. You know, so I think it's a little bit different. Reason why I say that is why come Tom Brady working in the booth could be a part of a conduct policy and him getting information as a broadcaster that he could take back then to his own organization that he's part owner of the Raiders. What is the difference?
Yeah, I think you ask a good question because the NFL's been trying to walk a fine line with Tom Brady by putting in restrictions of what he can do and can't do as a member of the Fox broadcasting team. There's been a lot of debate if those rules that are set in place are good enough to hold Tom Brady back and stop this from being a conflict of interest. But the bottom line is Tom Brady is still one of the most influential figures in the NFL. He's going to get that inside information that he can use to his ability if he wants to when it comes to running the Las Vegas Raiders. So, yeah, there's not too much of a difference.
Got you. And I guess one more for me. Thoughts on, I guess, who won the draft or had maybe in your eyes, or maybe it's a couple teams that thought you did probably the best job in the draft, as far as NFL teams.
Yeah, I'll give you two. One is that team that everyone's talking about, and seemingly they win the draft every single year, and it makes no difference because they don't win any more games, and that's the Cleveland Browns.
Oh.
And I think they had the best draft class in the NFL last year,
They did.
and I think Andrew Berry had one of the hottest starts of any draft I've ever seen this year because they get offensive lineman Spencer Fano, the versatile Casey Concepcion, who I've been high on for years, ever since he was at NC State. Did you know he was named first team All-SEC in 3 different categories last year? I didn't even know that was possible.
What?
But getting Denzel Boston, who was a big 6'4" target, then they probably got the steal of the draft and Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, the box safety out of Toledo. And another reason very quickly why I like the Browns draft class is because they landed my favorite developmental quarterback, Taylon Green out of Arkansas, just to add to the most fascinating quarterback room in the NFL. If I can bring up one more team that I thought had a very underrated draft, it's the New Orleans Saints. They grabbed Jordan Tyson at number 8, but that's not a reason I'm listing them so high. Getting Kristen Miller at number 42 is a great run stuffer. They got this guy, Georgia tight end Oscar Delp at number 73 overall. And do you guys remember there was a time when we talked about Oscar Delp like he was going to be the next great thing? Like he was the top tight end in the 2022 class, and he has all this talent, but the production in Athens was never really there. If Kellen Moore is actually a good offensive-minded coach, I think Oscar Delp could be one of the most fascinating players to watch from this class. But apart from that, they got the younger brother of Trey Lance with Bryce Lance out of North Dakota State, who a lot of people in the draft community were high on. Lorenzo Styles from Ohio State, the brother of Sonny Styles, who has that legitimate 4.2 speed. And finally, I think they got a steal in the 7th round with this guy, TJ Hall out of Iowa, defensive back. He led the Big Ten with 10 passes defense and is an absolute stud in run support. So the New Orleans Saints are one of those teams that I thought was very underrated this draft.
Gotcha.
There you go. Jordan DeJaney of CBS Sports. He joins us every Friday. And next week, I'm definitely going to get in the question about what the hell the Jacksonville Jaguars are doing. Not that I'm complaining. I love it, but we have to get into it next week. Jordan, thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you next week.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Have fun tonight.
All right,
Appreciate it,
thanks. Coming up next, we should hear from the rookies who will be up at the podium. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone. Cover 2. Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by all Four Seasons Garage Doors. 615-737-1045 is the number. We await Carnell Tate, Keldrick Falk, and Anthony Hill Jr. to make their way to the podium at Vanderbilt Health Football Center.
We're not going to get Connect.
No Connect. Not him either. You're not getting either of them. I guess
they're screwing the last round.
They're teasing us.
No.
They're saving him.
They nuts and bolts us, man. He's going to be the most impactful player.
To be fair, we have already heard from Falk and Tate. You know, they had their press conference already. Now, obviously, that was with Salah and Berganzi, and maybe there's further questions they need to be asked, but I do feel like we get kind of robbed with no Carmona, no Pat Coogan, the Cougs, no Jackie McGee.
All these
those guys
cool names.
Well, I wonder what they're going to ask him. Like, how was the lift today? That was the baseline assessment.
You got to jump on it, Ross, man. You got to go over and talk to them, man.
Yeah.
I'll do some reporting later.
We'll get some Ross's rumors maybe later. I just saw this audio clip, number 9, Ross, because we've been talking about the undrafted free agents, their chance to make the team. We had mentioned cornerback and safety, the defensive back room being probably a place of competition where you could see one slide in. Salah was asked about it, and this is Salah on the UDFAs being able to compete for spots in the secondary.
It's wide open. You know, the back end of the roster with regards to our corner position, when you're looking at the 3, 4, 5 spot, it is wide open, and it's going to be exciting to see it all develop. There's a couple of undrafted guys that we're excited about, and you know, and that doesn't close the door to possibly bringing in a couple of vets either. So we are excited about our starters. Don't sleep on Marcus. I think he's going to be a fun one to watch, but otherwise, you are right in terms of the depth of that back end needing to prove itself.
That's the second time in as many press conferences that I've heard Marcus Harris mentioned. You know, Mike Berganzi talked about it at the day 3 press conference and said that this Marcus Harris is the biggest nickel back. Robert Saleh told Mike Berganzi that he's the biggest nickelback he'll ever have. Or nickel corner. I think they may just say
ever had.
Marcus Harris is. And now you heard him speak about Marcus in the secondary there just again. So it sounds like he's pretty excited to get his hands on Marcus Harris. And listen, Marcus played pretty well in being thrust in duty for was he 6th or 7th? Yeah, inside outside.
He's what, 5'11"?
Yeah.
He did a good job. He should have had that pick 6 that's one on down the sideline. Yes. Oh, I remember to a T. You remember that play? Oh, man. I know. Oh, you just like, oh, my God. It pained me just by as much as it pained him.
I'm sure.
But, yeah, he's got a lot of upside. And we saw his speed there in preseason. I think, he ran a 4.3 from Cal
Yeah,
Berkeley?
he was fast.
Yeah. I saw his catch-up speed there when they played the Falcons.
Yeah.
He was coming right
and
into
you were
my
on the
lap.
sideline for that, right?
Well, I was up in the stands. He came right to my lap.
Yeah.
I mean, I felt like I saw it all. And I saw he was beat. I said, uh-oh. And you saw him downshift and go to another gear. And I was like, ooh. And he got a PBU on that one.
Yep.
I was like, man.
That was a good. That was
the
a
only
fun
time
play.
I really saw him just get up and go. Besides, the stuff in training camp, but in a game like that, to see that you're beat, I don't know who the receiver was.
Yeah,
probably some second string guy, but it doesn't matter. His catch-up speed showed.
Speed.
Yeah, speed is speed, no doubt about it. I was like, oh, that was impressive. And then he got in the game eventually, probably halfway through the season with the injuries and trades and everything else. He started showing signs and glimpses there and making plays here or there. I was interested in his physicality because he's not a real big, stocky guy, but he's not small either. So I wanted to see what he was like in the run game and the run fits. I thought, okay, he meets the skill set of covering and, knowing the little nuances of playing the nickel position. And, when I ask this question, people always take it and probably run with it in the wrong direction. I said, which one is harder to play, right? Nickel or corner? How do you take that question?
I take it that nickel's likely the hardest to play, in my opinion, because they are on that kind of interior of the defense, right? So there's a lot more action flowing your way than it is on the outside. 'Cause I'm not trying to say it's an easy job to be an outside corner,
Right.
but you kind of know your assignments on the outside lanes. Like when you're this guy, you have to be watching the run. It's almost like another linebacker, right?
There's a lot of
You have to be multi-tool, multi-skill. Now, when I say what is the hardest to play as a football player, that's what I'm asking. The harder athletic position is the outside corner.
Right.
You got to be a better, longer, athletic player. But the harder position to play is the nickel. That don't mean you have to be the better athlete. You have to be the better
Right.
football player because you have to do so many different things. And so some people, even coaches, will say, when I say that, first thing they'll say is, oh, the outside guy is the hardest to play. No, I didn't ask you who was the best athlete.
Right.
I asked you which one is the hardest to play. The corner knows he's got that guy. That I ain't saying that's
Yeah.
easy, but yeah, you have to be the better athlete. But it's funny when you gotta, I gotta read the offensive line. I gotta have contain here. I have to fit right here on certain run plays on the way. Oh, if the guy stutters and then runs a route, and then now I have him. Oh, if they do this route now in the zone, I gotta do this. That's way different mentally than the capacity of an outside guy. But that guy has to be the better athlete on the outside. The smarter, more intrinsic player within the scheme is harder to play as the nickel.
Well, I mean, how many times do you see in today's NFL your corner, your slot guy could be covering Jackson Smith and Jigba for the majority of the game?
Yeah.
I mean, you have, and then he has to also do the run, right? Like, I mean, the outside corners get a little bit easy in the run game, just a little bit, compared to the nickel.
And they're not in the way they do now. They're not built that way. I mean,
Right.
to be up here trying to tackle, Singleton coming around and Pollard. They're like, hey man, get that guy.
Or
get over
Derrick
here.
Henry. Think about that one.
Just imagine some of them guys will play blocked.
Yeah.
They will play blocked.
I couldn't get free of my block.
Yeah, he was holding me. You see him right there? Oh no, you didn't want none of that smoke over there. Derrick Henry coming there hitting you with his kneecaps.
Well, you think about like you're in man coverage too. There's so many things
Yeah,
like
man zone.
the route variety you have in the slot is
harder.
much greater than outside. Plus, typically, not every time, but typically the ball's got to travel farther if you're on the outside, especially if you're a field corner.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff. Plus, that's obviously not the only keys you're reading in the slot. You read multiple keys. Yeah. But
yeah, it's a tougher football play in the inside. Outside, it's a more athletic play because you're going against these super duper athletic, long, tall, fast guys.
Right.
Yeah.
And I also think of how important it is now to have a nickel corner that can do that. You
man,
can't.
it's special now.
That's not an afterthought position anymore. That's
you pretty much that's your base defense.
Yeah. I mean, especially if you kind of look at Robert Saleh, he's oftentimes his 4-3. He's known for 4-3, but he plays a lot of 4-2-5 over these last 2 seasons, and that means that there's that guy that's almost your coverage linebacker, if you will, in a sense of that nickel corner. I mean, a lot of people thought they were going to draft one. I think that's why Teron Davenport had asked that question, because a lot of people thought they were going to go after Keontae Scott or draft a Keontae Scott, but the way that Mike Bergonzi talked about it, it was like, no, they really love him. Robert Saleh is really excited to get his hands on Marcus Harrison. It sounds like right there, we heard it again from Robert Saleh. So,
Marcus Harris, right?
Yeah.
But, man, it shows you how this administration, as far as the GM and the head coach, are so aligned.
Yeah, right.
Because guess what? That was a Bergonzi pick. That wasn't Saleh.
That's correct.
And guess what? Now we hear him talking about a Bergonzi pick that was last year.
Yeah.
And they knew going in that they that wasn't a must need.
Right.
But they do know that they must need depth there.
Right.
But not a must need as a starter. So we can hold pat here, and maybe we got, Delonte can play inside, outside, or we can get a free agent guy. Hopefully, if we stay healthy, groom him, or a safety guy who can kind of do a little bit of everything, but maybe not great at one thing.
Right.
See, so you have a backup plan while you're thinking about this while you're going into the draft. So I really, that speaks to me that they are on the same accord as far as the head coach and the GM.
That's what this whole offseason has really felt like. I know that the collaboration has been a word that's been thrown around and pretty much has lost its meaning for a while. But this feels like teamwork, right? I mean, like this really feels like, the phrase that Rand used was hunting together. This is what that feels like. Hunting together, collaboration, teamwork. That was one of the things I was going to actually talk about tonight, because we're not going to break down the X's and O's since we got Greg Cosell going on. But at Football North Afterwards was what you just brought up, is that how they feel like they just fit. Right?
Oh, I thought you were going to be talking about, the WWE
well, we are going to
translation
do
of
that too
all
at
the
the
draft
end. That's
picks.
at the end. That's at the end. That's a little fun at the end.
Oh, man, I'm always listening.
Yeah, that's a little fun at the end.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's
little
fun.
lightning round.
Which one is going to be Ross?
We do. Ross said
he's WWE.
He is WWE. He looks it back there with his hair and the mustache.
Doesn't he look like, what's that one guy? What's the guy he looks like?
There's a guy.
One guy. Yeah, it's a guy that looks like you.
Yeah, that one guy. Yeah.
No, I can't think of his name because I don't watch wrestling
There's a guy
anymore.
on American Gladiators that
maybe
used to
that's what
be
I'm
a
talking
wrestler that is on the new version of American Gladiators. He has a mustache like
kind of
him.
hairstyle like you.
Yeah. I'll have to go. I can't remember his name, but there is a guy that kind of looks like him.
Is he worth a damn, or is he just trying?
Well, that's why he's on American Gladiators
too. He got thick quads just like you.
ham thighs? Come on, man.
Hey, man, that's power and explosion.
Yeah,
they hit you down low, they bounce right off.
Yeah. That's how you be jumping off the top rope.
So we're still waiting for the press conference.
I think they closed this thing down.
Well, here's my question: do you want to go ahead and take our break and do a longer break in the next segment, just in case they do come back?
The next segment's our last one.
Well, I know, but will you want to take that one long?
Whatever y'all want to do.
We're doing this live on air.
Let's just go to break.
Okay,
man.
let's go to break now. Let's hope that they come back. If not, we have more clips of Robert Saleh as well. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone.
Papa Puff.
Cover 2, Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by all Four Seasons Garage Doors. 615-737-1045 is the number. Carnell Tate is up at the podium, but they're not streaming it live, so we're just going to have to do the play-by-play here. A lot of people were talking about why Carnell Tate wasn't able to pry away number 17 from Chimere DK. Because that was his number in college. But this is what Carnell Tate had to say about that. He said his mom's birthday is 11-4, so 1-4. And he was drafted round 1, pick 4. Mm-hmm. And when asked about the number 14, he also said it was the best number available. So, I mean, that's also the case. But I guess they couldn't come to a monetary agreement if he even pursued one with to get number 17 from Chimere DK.
Yeah. Well, if I was DK, I would have gave up my number, to be honest, because he made all pro.
Yeah.
No.
I wouldn't either.
That's my good luck charm.
Yeah.
I did well in this number, and I'm not giving it up. Now, if you want to give me $1 million, I'll think about it.
Right.
And I don't think Tate is like that type of dude. Like, I may go to I ain't going to pass $100,000 or something. So yeah,
give me some of that. Give me some of that first round pick money. I was a fourth round pick.
Guaranteed 50.
Yeah, right. Give me some of that. Give me some of that.
So, yeah, I mean, so a number's a number, but I'm glad he found, a good number that he could relate to. So, it's always about what's in the number, how you play. It ain't really the number.
That's true.
I didn't want my number. I didn't want 23. I wanted 22 just like I was in college.
Yeah.
I didn't say
Who was 22 at the time?
It was another guy. He was the year before me. He was a draft pick from Fresno State.
Gotcha.
Cornerback, Tony Brown. Not that the Tony Brown.
Yeah, that's the later Tony Brown.
Tackle guy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he was one, and he was done after that year. But I didn't even switch back. Because then now I'm like 1 year in, wore 23. Yeah, I'm cool with this. I mean, it's no big deal.
Yeah, and I'm with you. If I'm Chimere DK, it's like, dude, I'm keeping 17. You got to pay me a lot of money. Yeah. You got paid a lot of money, so you got to give me some money.
Yeah, well, I don't know if I would approach it that way, but I would say, hey, man, I did really well in the number. It's going to take a lot to get this away from me. What you talking about?
Right.
Well, now, I'm still keeping it. $100,000? Nah, I'm still keeping it. You got to add another zero.
Hey, Ross, I just sent you a clip via Twitter. And I know you're going to have to get it up here real quick, but this is courtesy of Buck Rising, who will be at the install later. Mm-hmm. So make sure you guys go get your tickets. Limited number of tickets left. You can go to 1045 The Zone's Twitter page or Buck's Twitter page to get the link. But, we've been talking about the slow ramp up and everything for these drafted rookies. Carnell Tate, this is him talking about how he appreciates the fact that the Titans staff is ramping the rookies up slowly.
About all getting acclimated, catching the guys up in the draft, up to the speed the team is at right now. So just not trying to rush into anything and risk any injuries.
And do you feel good about that as far as understanding what it takes to get your body right?
I feel good about it. Those guys have a program for me, and I trust and believe they're going to put me in the best position.
What had the last?
So that was that. So I guess really, we're having to fly by the seat of our pants on these clips here.
Man, it'd be more fun talking about Neil O'Donnell. You're just going to change O'Donnell on the back of your jersey to Tate, man. Yeah, that's much
Well, you remember last year was the big thing about the Warren Moon #1 Cam Ward jersey thing. So this year, I guess everybody focused on the Chimere DK Carnell Tate. But to your point, nobody remembers nobody's bringing up Neil O'Donnell.
Man, he was number 14.
I know.
Boy, he that Super Bowl run we had, man, he went 5-1 as a starter.
Yeah.
The beginning of the season when Mac had back surgery.
Yep.
Yeah, you weren't born yet.
I was born. No, I'm only 10 years younger than you.
You were 5. You were 5. You were 8, and then Ross was 2.
I was nothing.
He wasn't born yet.
You weren't even born, were you?
No.
I told you.
He wasn't born. He's the young one.
Blake, okay. I played against your son in high school. I'm not that old.
I know.
I'm younger than him.
Hey, I was 14.
Oh, my.
Well, technically, I guess I would have been 13 there at that point.
Oh, man.
Yeah, y'all old for real.
But you know who Neil O'Donnell is, and you know his number, though, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, okay.
But not like I couldn't tell you about how he was as a player.
Oh, God. Well, I just gave you the info. 5-1 on Super Bowl team, and Mac had a back surgery. And we went 5-1. Watch this. Hey, there was a lot of people in the locker room just like me saying, hey, I think we can go another game with Neil O'Donnell. Watch this. Because Mac wasn't fully healed yet. And Mac was like, no, I can go. I was like, hey, man, you good? He's like, yeah, I think I could. No, don't think. We're doing well.
No.
Just take longer.
Right.
He's doing fine. We good. I mean, Mac, Neil O'Donnell was getting rid of that thing. That was like hot potato. He was, he go through his reason. He got rid of that. He did not want to get hit.
There's something to be said about a quarterback that doesn't want to get hit. They sure do. Aaron Rodgers, and for the longest time until he got too old and past his prime, Ben Roethlisberger used to be that way.
Oh,
he'd always get rid of that ball pretty quick.
Big Ben.
Yeah.
Well, Ben used to be trucking dudes in the back.
Yeah, sure did.
Early on, boy, I was like, dang, man. They used to just fall off of him. They did. I was like, dang, they can't even get him down.
He was a big boy. I mean, it also makes me remember Jared Lorenzen, the Kentucky quarterback. Remember how big he was?
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
That was your guy, wasn't it? That was your guy.
I love there's also who's the kicker from Missouri, Harrison Melvis from a couple of years ago or last season. Yeah. That was a big old boy too. I marvel when bigger people could do stuff that I cannot do. There's no way I could kick a football Melvis or throw a ball like Jared Lorenzen.
Oh, Jared Lorenzen was awesome. He was incredible.
Yeah.
All right, well, give us a little hint then, since we're not going to do this. A little hint, or no, just tell us what. Look, you start with Janek, right?
Yeah.
Who do you compare him to as a wrestler?
Oh, I can't give that away.
No, that's the last pick. You can give one away to T so everybody could come.
I agree with that. That's fair.
Just the last guy. Do you have
see,
it
here's
already?
the thing. I've only thought of. I've kind of hit like a.
He's not Papa Puff like I was saying.
No. I've kind of hit it like a. I've only been able to figure out Nick Singleton.
Oh.
And so far, because I mean, this is something that I'm going to work on after the show. No, it's John Moxley, or I've also thought about Darby Allin. These are a little bit newer wrestlers, but they are reckless abandon, kind of like Jeff Hardy back in the day, if you remember Jeff Hardy. And Nicholas Singleton just runs into people, right? Just throws his body around.
His vision sometimes is not on. I mean,
I don't know if he chooses violence or if he can't see.
Well, he better stop that because he won't last like 4 years and he'll be done.
Yeah. But that's kind of where I'm going with Nicholas Singleton. And I've kind of thought about Pat Coogan as like the Dusty Rhodes back in the day. He's got a little bit like
Ross
the
don't
plumber,
know Dusty. He don't know
son
Dusty
of a
Rhodes.
plumber vibes to him.
You don't know Dusty Rhodes?
Okay, that's it. That's all I can give away. That's all I can give away.
Oh, you get the people hype. You know, in the chat, they were like, "Oh, I can't wait! I can't wait!" Now he just gave you a couple of them.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite wrestler?
I didn't get into that.
Oh, you did not. I did. Then I didn't.
You look like a guy that would have loved wrestling growing up.
This is why we don't stereotype people, and we learn them for who they are.
Exactly,
right?
Ross.
They said you look like you look like you play baseball. I didn't play no baseball.
You look just like a baseball player. There is no joke about that.
Yeah, maybe.
Put a little dip in his mouth. Well, that guy's a baseball player right there. Big League Chew. Don't tell me you didn't.
I did do Big League Chew. Everybody did Big League Chew.
Oh, man. Oh, I bet the ladies would have loved to see you in those tight baseball pants too, boy. I got him. I knew I'd get him. Yeah, man. Them things like tights.
I know you didn't listen. I know you probably didn't listen to like the full 5 or 6 hours we did the show on Saturday for day 3.
No.
But we were trying to hook Ross up while we were on air and be his wingman with some women that were there.
Oh, man.
He did wear his sunglasses this time, though.
Oh, okay.
So good on him. He learned just from his mistakes.
Yeah, they couldn't see me.
But he kept staying in the corner talking to one of the promotions interns or whatever, AJ. And he was just on his phone the whole time over in the corner hiding from the women. I was like, I don't know.
Oh, man. So he wasn't willing to shoot a shot?
Nope.
I had to work. I was posting graphics all weekend.
So he said he don't like work and play at the same time.
Yeah,
I'm locked in, man. Come on, now wait for the offseason.
Okay, you focus, man. That's right.
Mr. OJ in the chat says Ross definitely has a shortstop or left fielder look.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah,
they probably put me in right field because I'm not very good at baseball, and I know what they do in right field.
That's where I played. Because guess what? I wasn't very good at baseball. Yeah, I was definitely out in right field, no doubt.
So, hey, look, Carnell Tate said he's fine with the rookie program. He don't mind not practicing. So why do people not on the team, why are we making a big fuss about it?
Well, I love that there's people out there that want to speak on the veterans' behalf. Like, I'm sure the veterans love this. Like, do the veterans even care if this was the case at rookie minicamp?
I wouldn't give a rat's you know what about it. That's on them. But as a matter of fact, I'd be like, Hood, the slow play, how they develop is great for me if I'm a vet. They ain't taking my spot.
And if I'm a starting vet, I'd be like, hey, all I care about are these dudes making us better or are they not? Are they going to help us this year or not?
Well, here's the other side of that coin is, dang, man, we had to do that.
Yeah.
The vets, see? Why ain't they got to do that? Because they got a better, smarter coach than they and he ain't making them do that.
Yep.
Don't you wish you had him at that time?
Right. That's what they're really thinking. Like, man, I wish I would have had this coach.
Oh, man, they ain't got, what? Man, we was out there running around right after we got drafted. Well, man, I just got off a flight the day before. Matter of fact, the other guy flew in that day and they ran out there and practiced.
Conditioning test.
Pulled my hamstring.
Man.
The altitude. What do you know about some altitude, bro? Come on, man. Hey, man. You see a lot of hammies during these little OTAs, though. So
yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Seriously. I mean, Traylon Burks, he was out of shape and injured and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I like it. I like
it. There's some science to that, or he's just using logical reasoning and things and his experience throughout the being a coach in the league.
That's what I was going to ask y'all, because he said, Salah said these guys are not in football, like they're not conditioned for football right now.
No.
So when does that point, do you think, happen?
Well,
Like,
it starts now, and then that you take them home and tell them what they need to do for their workout.
Because you could probably get in pretty shape in between all the mini camps if you stick to it.
They're not far from shape, but they're not in football shape.
Right.
It's no different than saying, okay, I'm in shape. Somebody held out, but they're not in football shape because guess what? Now you're referencing you're not having contact. Yeah, you can't replicate having shoulder pads and helmet on, but you held out and you've been out here doing your little track workout. Well, you ain't hit nobody. You got to get in physical hitting shape.
So now, just devil's advocate, because I get the whole why they're doing what they're doing, but devil's advocate, I would say, why are they not practicing in a 2-day rookie minicamp with no pads and none of that, just to at least get ramped up somewhat to what the program is going to do?
I did say I think they should be out there at least doing mental reps, and even if I would have them jogging, like, just kind of going through what we want to, pitch and catch, getting to know each other more of in a fun way. I wouldn't have them not come out. That's not. That was my little difference than what he's doing.
Yeah.
But I do understand what he is trying to do here, and it's hard to disagree with that.
I mean, it just makes too much sense, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, at the end of the day, it just makes too much sense. And he presented it in such a way that I don't know how you would have a problem with it.
But you always see it, though.
Yeah, always see it.
Watch this. Remember the Titan? He wasn't a rookie, but he was a vet. Harold Landry, first day, bang, throw the ACL.
Yeah.
See that?
Well, Corey Davis, didn't he get injured in rookie minicamp?
Oh, I don't know. He was already injured with the ankles.
But I think he got re-injured in rookie minicamp or something like that. Something happened his rookie
it might
year.
have been, he didn't practice very much, that's for sure.
Let's do this. Let's go to some more Salah clips here. Let's go to let's talk a little bit more about Anthony Hill, one of our favorite rookies in this class.
Yeah, he'll be.
Robert Saleh was asked, what is his vision for Anthony Hill Jr. in this defense?
We'll see how it all goes. Cody's doing a really nice job, so is said. Moose has got something to say about it, Diabate, who we brought in. So, for Anthony, it's just going in there, learning the system, competing every day and see where he's at. But thankfully, we're in a position where he's got to go earn it, just like everybody else does. And the top 2 linebackers will play nickel, top 3 will play base.
There you go. That's even a little. I mean, obviously we knew that's how 4-2-5 and 4-3 work.
Still though,
but still, that is interesting to hear, right? Like, I mean, he said, the top 2, top 3, you earn it, and I love it.
You ain't getting nothing else out of that.
Well, he mentioned Cody and said he didn't mention James Williams. Oh, crap. He didn't, because he mentioned Dorian Mousey, who's Moose.
There we
he
go.
He did mention James Williams.
Brain there, Ross.
Yeah, it took me a little bit. I got things.
I'm like, Moose?
Yeah, Dorian Mousey is Moose.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
But he did that.
Did not mention James Williams.
He said Cody Barton first. Yeah. So to me, that meant that's who he's competing with.
Yep.
He didn't mention Williams. That means he is not part of the competition. And Moose is Anthony Williams.
I've also gotten word.
Junior.
Speaking of Moose, I've gotten word that Moose is actually there at practice watching this.
Hill Junior.
Yeah. So Dorian Mousey, Moose, is actually there watching practice today.
See?
He's there front and center watching.
I'm telling you, I got to read and listen.
Yeah, you're right. I totally glossed over the James Williams thing.
Whoa, hey. Uh-oh.
Because we've talked about that a few times about James Williams. I thought maybe with Chad Brinker leaving, James Williams would be wiping his brow going, shoo, I think I can make this team. But it'll be interesting to see because we have not heard his name mentioned a lot in these press conferences. I don't even know if I've heard it once, and maybe I'm misremembering. I think maybe Ziegler mentioned James Williams. But that is interesting. He was not mentioned in this one. And Moose
was.
And he's got a nickname. And when a coach gives a player a nickname and says it by, remember Dr. Gibbons, Dr. Gibby, and he made it to the team.
I like you.
Yeah.
Always hated that nickname.
Yeah.
But James Williams was a special teams contributor last year.
Oh, absolutely
but
he was.
So was Mausi. He recovered the muff punt in week 1.
Is it Mausi?
Mausi, I think.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know. They got. Moose sounds better.
Yeah.
So.
Just say Moo.
You know what? That's what we need. Y'all are doing a great job. I like a lot of the additions we've made. Can we get some more like Dan Smith? Is there a Dan Smith out there we can get?
Yeah.
Is there a Tom Brady type
Here's
name?
the cornerback next year that's coming out that everybody's like, Leonard Moore is his name.
Leonard Moore.
And I'm like, oh, that's a good cornerback name. Leonard Moore.
Where'd he go?
I think he's LSU, right? Is that right?
Or Notre Dame?
Notre Dame.
Oh,
There's also, Notre Dame got a commitment today. Let me read you this name. This is a real name.
Commitment to Notre Dame.
Committed to Notre Dame today.
Then
This is a real name.
Make me feel just like a ding dong.
Because you're gonna love this name.
No way.
I'm right with you.
You're gonna love this name. His nickname is Champ. CHAMP.
I got that,
Okay. Champ. His real name is legal name. Wonderful Mons the Fourth. So he is the fourth Wonderful Mons.
Oh, man.
And his nickname is Champ. He committed to Notre Dame today.
Mons the Fourth.
Yeah.
Oh, I actually, that's easy to do.
Wonderful. Yeah, it was an easy name to say, but it's just
His
like
name
that
is like, whoa, that's different.
Yeah, well, get the jacket ready for the Hall of Fame because he's going to the Hall of Fame, no doubt.
That's a Hall of Fame
with
name.
a name like that,
That's a Hall of Fame name, I tell you that.
and he's the fourth.
I don't know.
What?
I remember there was a kid committed to LSU and he didn't pan out, but his name was Dakotas Crawford and his middle name was
Dakotas Crawford. Oh, that's sweet. Man, what? Oh, man, I can't imagine what some of these parents think when they name their kid that. Boy. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I love that there's three other wonderful
Name their
Mons.
kid after a verb.
There was also a guy called in the chat or that got drafted. I think his name was like Manjack the Fourth, and I'm like, could nobody the other three Manjacks change that name? I mean, like, give me a break. But that is a good name.
Let's just get some easy pronunciations. Like Jeremiah Smith. Got that one down.
That's an easy one.
Carnell Tate.
Yeah, you got Carnell Tate.
Yeah, I got you right there.
Anthony Hill.
Junior.
Yeah. Pat Coogan.
Ooh, Coog.
Yeah, you call him Cougs.
Could trip some people up.
Okay,
though.
Nick Singleton. That's another one.
Oh, that's
you got a lot. You got a lot of ones in this draft class.
Yeah, Nicholas.
Yeah. Lastly, let's continue our Anthony Hill conversation. This is number 7, Robert Saleh on balancing getting Anthony Hill Jr. up to speed versus getting him ready to eventually to be the green dot guy.
Oh.
Yeah, he's all these rookies are it's like drinking from a fire hose, you know. So it's especially at the Mike linebacker spot where they're the quarterback of the defense, and so we're going to give him as much as he can handle and try to find that that balance between too much versus too little. And every player has a breaking point, and even Fred Warner, you know, I had to go through. I've told the story many times that his second year against Arizona, it was a Thursday night game, and I put so much on his plate, and to this day, probably the worst game he's ever played in his career. And I realized I did that to him because of what I did to him with regards to all the different things I was asking him to do. And so we'll learn Anthony over the course of the next couple months. We'll learn Cody. We'll learn Moose. We'll learn Ced. We'll learn all of them. And whatever that balance is, we'll figure it out.
All of them but James Williams. I mean, again, he mentions Moose another time.
And that's not to say that he can't make the team, but it's like these are the names that are forefront to him in his head, like when he's talking. So, oh, man, that there boy, that's dangerous right there, man. He in trouble. He better do some good stuff in training camp.
Yeah, I don't know if James Williams is listening to these press conferences, but if my name wasn't being mentioned in these press conferences, I'm making sure it's mentioned the next time I see them at practice.
Dude.
Because they've already gone through some OTA, or I guess mini camp with the veterans.
Hey, man, you're going to bring out the old Blaine Bishop, man, because I would be out there hitting people with no pads on.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, Blaine, what is wrong with you? Y'all gonna see when we put these pads on what I'm gonna be doing. I would, man. Ooh, that's what they had to tell me. They hit Blaine. You need to stop. I was like, no, I'm good. No, you gonna hurt somebody on the team, or you gonna hurt yourself. So then they had to convince me you need to learn how to practice. I said, oh, I know how to practice. They said, no, dude, you can't be hitting people with no pads on. I said, they got a helmet on. I said, no, y'all didn't mention my name in that presser.
Yeah.
I did not say that. But that is what I was thinking.
That's the mentality.
You going to know me when we leave this field every day. Yeah. Every day, there's going to be something that's going to be said like, hey, man, did you see what? Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you're not thinking like that, you will not be there. You will not be there very long. And that's why NFL stands for not for long.
Yep.
That is the true thought process of any player that feels like they're not getting their just due. And sometimes it happened fairly or unfairly.
Right.
But you better bring the hat because eventually there's 31 other teams. So if you don't show it here, maybe you'll get an opportunity somewhere, and maybe not. But all you can do is say, I can control what I can control, and I'll get my shot, whether it's here or somewhere else. And I'll show that in the game because the way you practice is actually how you play. And then there's a whole ratcheted up of intensity level we all know in a game.
I mean, your story's never over after your first cup.
No doubt.
And if you don't, first off, hear this, like if you're James Williams and you by chance hear all this and you're not going out there and doing kind of what you're talking about, I mean,
this is flashbacks for me.
Yeah, make
I'm
them
serious
remember your name.
Yeah, well, this is flashback. That's why it's kind of personal. People was like, it was writing articles. I'm like, this dude ain't gonna make the team. Where's Ball State? Who the heck is this? Well, I mean, I'm in Texas. Like, these people are like, man, this guy's horrible. Like, okay,
I'll show you.
You just gave me exactly what I needed. Yeah. I thought I was about to die out there. I don't even lie. So now you just gave me a little extra little fuel here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden there's an article like, hey, this dude's a lock to make this team. And that's 3 weeks later. And
then work's not done after that, right?
Nah. So, I mean, then you got to have some breaks along the way. So I got injured. Unfortunately, I didn't injure them.
Right. I have to say, this was the most Friday show of Friday shows that we've ever done. This was a great show. Best. I think this is one of the best shows we've done. Top 5 show.
Great job by Ross.
Yeah,
we
good
didn't have
job,
to
Ross.
handhold you the whole way. You didn't have to help me pronounce any. Oh, yeah, you did.
Yeah, well.
Good job by Ross. All right, we'll be at the install tonight for Greg Cosell and Mike Bergonzi. Hope to see you guys there. Tickets, limited amount tickets still available. Other than that, 3HL's up next. This has been nope. I saw Stoney walked in about to say this is football and other F words. This is Cover 2 with Blake Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 105 The Zone. And in the meantime,
and in between time, peace.